So put me in a flower shop and I don't think I'll ever leave. I just love flowers. There's something about them that are so magical. I could dream about them, paint them, draw them. So why don't we go ahead and learn how to make this cute little flower shop. I'm going to teach you how to draw it and paint it. It's going to be super fun. I can't think of anything better other than actually being in a flower shop. So come along with me. Okay, grab a pencil and let's draw a rectangle. Whenever you're drawing, just think about breaking it down into the shapes that you see. This is the front of our little shop, and we need a little roof. And make that line that, goes halfway, and then you can bring these diagonal lines that come down. It's like pretend we're standing in front of the shop. So you're going to kind of see a little bit of that angle that goes back. And you need some little scalloped edges. It makes it look really cute. I think we need a sign that goes up top that says flowers. So another rectangle. A door is another rectangle. Lots of rectangles in this. I think we need a couple more rectangles. So do that in the center of the door. One on top and one on bottom. The wobbly your lines, the better. I think it gives character. This should be not stressful. This should just be simple and fun. Okay, little ledges that our flower pots sit on either side of the door. Maybe they're attached to the wall. So you're only really going to see the front of the shelf. And pencil in the word flowers. I like it to be all capital letters, nice and bold. Okay, we need some pots that go on either side. I like it to be a little symmetrical. So another little rectangle and a couple lines at an angle, a base for our pot. One bigger and one smaller, and kind of match it on the other side. It makes it look kind of cute. Stones. So cute to have. I say that word again, cute, but have a pathway to lead up to your door. Small, medium, large, circle, and ovals make up this stone path. Couple windows on either side. More rectangles. Okay, looks great. Now we're going to grab a pen. Typically I like to use a pen that is permanent, and that, once you put watercolors over top of it, it won't smear. But this one I'm actually using today is a brush dual tip pen that is not permanent. And so if you don't like that, it will smudge a little bit when you go to paint over top of this with a little bit of water and paint. Grab a different pen. You could even use a Sharpie, but Micron is another good pen that you could use if you've ever seen those type of pens. I'll just link them in the description so that you can shop those if you're interested, but you don't have to ink it, but I think it looks kind of fun adding a little bit of the pen straight over top of each mark that you made. Kind of gives a little more structure to the painting when you add some of this line work on here. Everywhere that you've drawn, just go right over top of that with your pen. Very loosely. These stones I just kind of barely sketched over top of. Looks great. Now erase all of your pencil marks. Anytime you touch watercolor paint to graphite, it's going to be there permanently. So if you don't want any of those pencil marks, be sure to get all of them off of there. And I think I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch this whole thing. Okay, grab a number 6 brush, round brush, and beautiful yellow paint. Like I was saying, if you do not like your ink smearing, then use a different pen than what I used. I actually thought this was a huge mistake. And once I kept painting, I was like, well, we're going with it. And it kind of added a little personality and character to it. The way that the paint kind of smeared around the ink, I actually really liked it. Green Viridian as the front of our shop goes really nicely with the yellow. Cadmium red for the door. This is a little watered down. And now bright cadmium red, so it means I just put a little more pigment on my brush to make it very vivid and bright. And just dip straight into that color instead of watering it down. All right, Payne's Gray for the windows. Payne's Gray is a nice blue-gray tone, really great for windows. Same Payne's Gray for the stonework. Remember that you do not need to paint edge to edge, just simply paint in as much of the circle as you want. And that is my style, very loose and free. Now I'm just doing a little bit of watering, kind of smearing, almost like the grout in between the stones, and just kind of going in with a little wash and to show that there's ground. The pots or the little flowers are going to be sitting in a window box, but I'm doing the flowers first. So just dab a little bit of pink on the point of your brush and just dab in what would look like tiny little flowers. Here I am taking burnt umber, just kind of watered down burnt umber to suggest that there's a flower box there that the flowers are sitting in. All right, now yellow, the same yellow that we used for our awning. We are going to dab in some yellow flowers. And then Viridian again for our stems. So just these little tiny lines that come up to suggest there's stems attached to those yellow flowers. Pots on either side. I thought they were kind of fun to match the door, so I just used cadmium red for each of those pots. Still using a number 2 brush to kind of get those little details. Wisp up some greenery in the larger pots. Those are just little lines that come up. And then pink blobs for the inner pots. Our sign needs just a little bit of something up there. So I used that same gray watered down kind of on the outside edge of that rectangle and left the inner part white so that the letters would just pop. Oh, we need a little handle on our door, just a little round circle for a way to get into our shop. Now, since the windows are dry, go back over top of them with a little bit of that gray, and it kind of adds a nice little shadow to look like it really is a window. What do you think? Do you love it? Let me know if you paint this. I really love to respond and read the comments. Subscribe and follow along. We're going to have fun.